Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for the Book of Boba Fett, Season 1, Episode 2, Chapter 2, The Tribes of Tatooine. Welcome, everybody. Before I get started, let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you don't want to be notified by YouTube when I come on live, best thing to do is hit that bell down below, and YouTube won't notify you when I come on live. So what you should do, go over to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. Also have all the links to my social media on there and all my links to my pages as well. All right. And we got a little guest star here. See? And a guest star there too. So uh, yeah. All right. So before we get started, spoiler alert, I am going to be spoiling the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. Comment. We can comment down below in the comment section. There we go. I'm just going to sit here for a second so you can pause or stop or whatever you need to do to go and watch the video. All right. So yeah, I'm actually enjoying this a lot. I mean, this is actually a lot of fun, and they are pulling out a lot of deep, deep, deep cuts on this one. Hey, Cheryl. So let's get started on this. So of course we're bouncing back and forth from his present time, I guess you could say, on Tatooine as a crime lord, and then of course back when he was with the Tuscan Raiders, just during Return of the Jedi, just after Return of the Jedi, I guess you could say. So he finds out who, of course, was trying to assassinate him, and also that the assassin is an Order of the Night Wind. And he finds out it's the mayor that sent the assassins after him. And the mayor, of course, I'm gonna Mock Shans is what his name is. So Mock Shans actually was voiced by Robert Rodriguez, or played by Robert Rodriguez. That's what it says anyway. So I thought that was kind of fun. And he did not direct this episode, by the way. Someone else directed it this week. So yeah, the mayor's like, I didn't, you know, I didn't send any assassins after you. You might want to think of who actually would benefit from that from you, maybe someone off world kind of thing. And why don't you go over to Jennifer Beals' place and see what's going on over there? And so, of course, yeah, Jennifer Beal, of course, playing Garza. Uh, oh my God, Garza Fwip. There we go. I have all my notes here because otherwise I can't see shit, or I can't remember shit anyway, I should say. So he, of course, goes in and she's sweating up bullets, and because who's arriving but the Hutt twins? And these are brand new characters. We have never seen them before until this episode. The Hutt twins are actually cousins of Jabba, and they've come to reclaim Mos Espa. And he's like, no, 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 no. I own Mos Espa now. Get your asses out, kind of thing, is what he's telling the Hutt twins. And the Hutt twins have brought along a little bit of muscle. They brought along a Wookiee who's a bounty hunter, who is canon, by the way. He has been in lots of other stuff as well. He's known as either Black K, Santee, BK, but his full name, of course, is Black Kersenton. Kersenton, and he was a former gladiator, hence the reason why Boba was throwing a little bit of shade his way about the gladiators. And he's now a bounty hunter and has worked for Jabba. He's worked for Vader, and he's also worked for Dr. Afra in the comics anyway. So Dr. Afra is only in the comics at the moment. So that's an interesting character to bring this into all of this. So the Huts are like, okay, we're going to take off because blood is bad for business in the streets, but we'll talk about this later, kind of thing. And so now they know who's gunning for them, of course, at this point. In the meantime, Bubba goes back, sits in the back of the tank, and he starts dreaming again about what happened with the Tuscan Raiders. And we find out that he's training with the Tuscan Raiders and that there is a train that is going through the desert that just starts shooting at the Tuscans and taking out as many of them as they can as they go through. And Boba's like, I can stop them. Let me go and do it. So he goes over to a bar, a little outpost, because remember we saw these biker gang, if you will, a little speeder biker gang that was going through and just beating up people and taking what they wanted. Well, they're of course at this bar, and what are they doing? They're beating up people and taking what they want. And if the two people in the bar, the two humans that weren't tending bar, looked kind of familiar, if you're a huge Star Wars fan, it's uh, they are actually from a cut scene from Star Wars: A New Hope, and this is when Luke is at Tashi Station, and he tells two people to look up in the sky. It looks like there are two, like there's a space battle going on up there, and those happen to be Cammy and Fixer is what their names are. And yes, that is a fucking deep cut to go to a deleted scene from a movie from 1977 to put that in there. But there you go. That's where we're at here. So Boba Fett, of course, kicks their asses of the biker gang, takes their speeder bikes, brings them over to the Tuscan Raiders, shows them how to drive them, and then attacks the train, and they take it down. And who has the trains? But and it was kind of surprising to me, the Pike Syndicate. Now, who are the Pike Syndicate? You might ask. Well, the Pike Syndicate are the ones who own the mines on Kessel. You've heard of the Kessel Run, of course, and their homeworld is Obadiah. If you go and back and take a look at the animated Clone Wars series, the final season, the last 6 or 7 episodes, somewhere around there. Um, the last 4 episodes actually tie into episode 3. It's between episode 2 and episode 3. And just before that is Ahsoka's journey to Obadiah and the whole Spice Kessel Run thing. And she deals with a lot of pikes. So if you're interested in learning more about the pikes and stuff like that, that's a good place to go and start. Um, and by kicking their asses and basically saying that the Pikes now have to pay the Tuscans basically to go through the desert for their run, he now has a huge, huge chit in the back of his pocket there that he's got the Pikes basically on call. They work for him now, is basically what it is. Um, And as a thank you, the Tuscan Raiders shove a fucking lizard up Boba Fett's nose and send him on a spirit quest. Or he finds a stick that he fashions into a gaffy stick, because that's where the gaffy sit. And we also find out more about the Tuscan Raiders in this whole thing as well. That the seas, the sand dunes of Tatooine used to be oceans, and these people have been here since the oceans dried up, and they still continue to live there. They know every inch of these sands, and so we actually get Tuscan Raiders fleshed out as characters instead of just you know NPRs, non-play, or I should say NPCs, just in the background that you shoot at and take them out when you're in a video game. They've actually been fleshed out as characters now and having a backstory, which is nice. And I mean, they did it matter of factly. They put it into the story because this, of course, is going to come into play later on when Boba has to deal with the Huts, because we have the tribes of Tatooine where the Hut leader was, or not the Hut leader, excuse me, the Tuscan leader was talking about the tribes of Tatooine, and there are many tribes, and I'm fairly sure that when push comes to shove, Boba's going to have he's going to be backed by all the Tuscan tribes out there because of what he's done. That's what I'm guessing at this point, and he's actually going to be an up and coming crime lord at this point. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to where this is going. It's pretty good. I mean, it's damn good. Oh, one other thing about the Pikes too that I mean, it's not going to really matter too much to Boba, but they were the ones that did the raids on Mandalore in order to get the Death Watch into power on Mandalore. So they're also responsible for that as well. So, if he needed any more goading into taking out the Pikes, that was also he doesn't really care about Mandalore, quite honestly. Boba Fett doesn't, but there you go. There you have that as well as background. So, and that again is also in the animated Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which is all on Disney Plus. So there you have it. Oh, a nice little aside too. I was doing a little research on this. Matt Berry is the one who voices 8D8. That's the droid that is Jabba's in Jabba's palace that Boba now owns. And if you don't know who Matt Berry is the one who plays Laszlo in What We Do in the Shadows. I knew the voice sounded familiar. And I couldn't figure out who the fuck it was. But yeah, that is Laszlo from What We Do in the Shadows. I thought that was pretty fucking funny that he was voicing 8D8. So uh, all these little interesting little things that are scattered throughout this episode. And again, this was one episode and we had all of that in there. So, hey, movie Finobi. We'll see what happens. I mean, but yeah, I mean, you could tell it's all kind of pushing everything. Everything's being laid out for us in a nice little map. And I'm sure this is going to tie in fairly well to Mandalorian season 3 as well. Yeah. Or it could also tie into the Ahsoka. Or it could tie into both. Who knows? So I'm looking forward to it. This is gonna be a lot of fun. So, what else do I have going on the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow is going to be Station 11. That is, if I can watch both episodes. If I can't get both episodes done, then it's going to be moving over to Sunday. Just a word of warning on that. Friday is going to be The Expanse. That's right. Episode 5 of The Expanse. That's the penultimate episode of the series. So, The Expanse. And Saturday is going to be Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any genre stuff you guys want to talk about. And we talk about it. Sunday, I'll be off. Monday, I'll be off. And then, of course, Tuesday rolls back around to is it another episode of Is It Worth My Time? I don't know what I'm doing as of yet, but we'll figure something out. And then, of course, Wednesday is the Book of Boba Fett. So there we go. We're all back to that again. Movie Finobi says still a little middle ground so far for me. Actually, I'm digging it. I like it. I always thought the Tuscan Raiders. So I used to play this card game, Star Wars card game, and it had a lot more information than you really needed for a card game. So you had characters and stuff like that that you would use with these things, and you also had ships and weapons and all that stuff. I probably learned more about Star Wars than I should have, through that game. But the Tuscan Raiders, there was actually a pretty good backstory that they had within that card game, and if you put together a right team, you could actually take down a lot of people with the fucking Tuscan Raiders. So yeah, we used to you build teams with Tuscan Raiders with some ships and all that kind of stuff. It was kind of funny. So it was like low tech meets high tech, and then you take down like the Galactic Empire and stuff like that. You take down Empire cronies and whatever. So it's a lot of fun. Also creepy Hut sibling, but yeah. Well, it's the Huts. That's the other thing too. Thank you for reminding me, movie Finobi. There is actually Boba Fett mentioned something about the Huts being distracted by something that happened on Nalhutta, which is where the Huts come from. And is it a civil war? Is it not? I'm fairly sure that whatever's happening on Nalhutta, we're going to be seeing something of that in the Mandalorian season 3. That's it's not it can't be just a little throwaway line. I mean, there's something going on that's going to lead to that. And the reason why I'm thinking this is because we've never seen any of this in any other Star Wars lore. Nothing has been mentioned about some kind of um, distraction on Nal Hutta or anything like that. So we'll see what happens. So Mufinobi says, I like some Raider stuff under the fire dance. So yeah, the fire dance too is actually excuse me. It's actually more of like Pacific Islander. I want to say it was Samoan. It looked like a Samoan dance. That's what it looked like to me. And I thought that was kind of funny that they did a nice little, you know, kind of bringing the island culture to a sea of sand. It was kind of interesting the way they did that. Mufino, says, I thought the the small rancor from Bad Batch might be there. I knew it was empty. Yeah. There's no way that Bib Fortuna was gonna be employing a rancor. He didn't really like that thing to begin with anyway. And after Luke killed it and how hard it is to get a rancor and all that stuff, yeah, yeah. There was no way Bib was gonna be obtaining another rancor for that little palace. So with that said, I'm gonna let you guys go for the night. Thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. Mork says so far not looking good for me. Well, you know, we all have our own tastes. Thank you if you watch this little video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. And one of the videos, my vast video library, pops up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below. Then if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. Otherwise, you can go over to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at the schedule I put up there. I change it out every week and also have all the links to my social media on there as well, and social media and pages. That's the dog scratching at the door because, of course, she hasn't been out in the last half hour. So, Moving is right, but Bib Fortuna had it in Bad Batch. No, he was handing it off, if I remember correctly. So, yeah. No, it's not that I'm done with you, Mufinobi. It's that the little dog is dictating that she needs to go. I saw her go from one door to another and then scratching at the door. So I know what's going on. I know what the deal is now. So, all right. So I will see you guys again tomorrow for Station 11. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, I don't know. You may end up having to go on a spirit quest with a lizard shoved up your nose that's supposedly in there piloting your brain to go someplace tree to grab a gaffy stick so you can make a new gaffy. I don't know. Anyway, thanks everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get those booster shots, and those flu shots as well. I'm starting to slow up a little bit. Oh my God. Thanks everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night and see you then. Bye, everyone.